This is Frank Islam, Chairman and CEO of FY Investment Group and your host of Washington Current Review, where we interview leading voices from business and politics, and today, in this case, theater and art and film. Today, our guest is Manoj Singh.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're most welcome. Manoj is a great guy, and I want to publicly acknowledge that he invited me to the film festival, which I greatly, immensely enjoyed, and I was a keynote speaker. Thank you for the invitation.
No, thanks for coming, Frank. It was really an honor.
Sure, appreciated that. So what I want you to do is tell me yourself what you do, and then I want to get into the theater part.
Sure.
Which is very unusual for the people who share my heritage.
My profession, which pays all my bills, is information technology. I do.
So this is your side job?
Yeah, this is my hobby.
A hobby?
Evening and weekends.
Oh, God bless you.
So, and now this is a new thing which we started 4 years ago, is entertainment, which is theater, films, even musical program. And we have been doing film festival for last few years. I also I'm doing a talk show on Nilima's TV, which is Chit Chat with Manoj.
That's very nice. So you want to propagate, broadcast your information to the others.
Yes.
So the question is, what made you to get engaged? I know you said about information technology.
Yeah.
That pays your bills,
Correct.
and your wife works, so that
Yes,
pays.
yes.
So you have a shared goals and shared responsibility.
Yes.
So how do you get involved with theaters, film, festivals? And before I forget, I am a fan of the art. As you probably know, that I serve on the Board of Trustees of the Kennedy Center of Performing Art, appointed by President Obama, which I'm very honored to. I also serve on the Strathmore Film, which is also an icon. And I also serve in 4 theaters as a member of the board as well. So I serve in 3. So I am into the theaters, art, and films. And it's a wonderful thing to do. And so my question to you is, how did you get involved in these things, and why is it important to people to be involved with the art? As President John F. Kennedy once said, the art nourishes the roots of our culture.
Correct. So speaking of that, my mom was always into art. She was a Bengali.
So you inherited from her gene.
Mom. Yes, I would say from my mom. She was into theater, and she was a professor in India in college, and during the social gathering she would organize plays, musical programs. So I used to watch that growing up. Then in high school I myself participated in some plays, and then I came to US, and then you know how the life becomes busy, your education, family, all of that. So then when my kids grew up, finished their college and went out and had time again, so I thought, why not I pursue this hobby again? So I decided
That's a hobby.
As a hobby.
Okay.
And then I also took some classes. I said, if I have to do this, let me do it right. Let me get some professional help and coaching. So I took some acting classes, filmmaking classes, theater classes in Montgomery College, because they offer evening classes. And so I started doing that. And then there's a group called Natya Bharati here, which does plays.
Yes.
And
That's
so they
Indian dance.
they gave me a break. I acted in a play in Mere Bacche. And then it all started from there. I produced my own play, A Tryst with Destiny, in which
that's Prime Minister Nehru's speech.
Yeah, and in that, in fact, leading actor was Gandhi's role, and it was done by Natwar Gandhi.
Oh, I do know him very well, the Chief Financial Officer of the district.
Yeah. So then, of course, I started making some short films because of the class projects. And then I realized that I attended few film festivals. I went to New York Film Festival, South Asian, and then also to Chicago and even Mumbai, and then realized that something was lacking in DC. So why don't we start this, because there are so many people who have this interest. So let's bring people together and talk about this this whole sector of filmmaking and even and art in general. I think, like you said, even greats like Nehru's and Gandhiji's have said that it is a reflection of a society, how developed you are, how mature you are, because and we are privileged to be in US to be able to do all this.
Sure. So I have two questions. First, your name and the company called Caesar
Yes.
Production. So why did you take that name? And then I want to talk to you a little about DC South Film Festival.
Sure. So Caesar Productions came about by, believe it or not, throughout my life we have had dogs, and they were German Shepherds. Even today we have German Shepherd in India. The one we had here died a year ago, and they're all Caesars. The name was Caesar. So we were thinking about it, what to do, how to name a company, and we are fond of animals. In fact, our cat also died just 2 months ago, and
I'm sorry to hear that.
And so we decided to name the company in his honor or memory. So it's Caesar Productions.
It has nothing to do with Caesar Augustus?
No, nothing to do with that.
Caesar Augustus.
No.
I was fortunate enough that you invited me to participate in DC's South Film Festivals, which is, I think, is your creations.
Correct.
And you're in charge, and you
Yeah.
and your wife share the responsibility. So tell me a little bit about it. How did the idea come from, and what do you do, and how do you also collaborate with the people in the United States as well, and you bring the people, actors and performance people and so on and so forth from India. Tell me a little bit about this thing.
So a lot of planning goes into place, and we are very lucky to have a very core group which has deep interest into this. 4 or 5 very good friends who are in the committee, and we start the planning almost a year in advance.
So you already started with the next
2015. We are already started to. We do a lessons learned every year, and then we decide, okay, what are the things we want to. We were weak on. What are the strengths, and let's pursue that. And we start looking at things like we already have done reservation for the facility because we have to do
Same
it
place?
in advance. Same place.
Okay.
So-
I understand it was well received.
Yes, it was very well received. I think everyone loved the venue this year. The movies were at the Rio Cinemas, and right next door was the Marriott Hotel. And so the guests who came really enjoyed staying
And
there.
these guests came within the United States, outside the United States, from all over the world. Explain to me a little bit.
All over the world. I mean, they came from India, Pakistan, and US this year.
Right.
Last year, we even had guests from, we had films from Bangladesh, Nepal,
Wow.
Pakistan.
So it's the whole South Asia.
South Asia, yeah. We try to see if we can find a good film in our neighboring countries as well, other than India. And
this brings the people together.
been triggered together. Yeah, last year, in fact, we had an
And also-
attendance from Pakistan Embassy and Indian Embassy.
Well, that's what we want. So they
Yeah.
can build the bridges of understanding and cooperation.
Correct. Yes, and yeah. So we are in a way indirectly also the ambassadors of bringing people together and peace and having a dialogue, and do it in a very peaceful and rightful and thoughtful manner.
So it's very
and art is
constructive.
bringing us all together, which
No
is very
question
good.
about that. Our bonds are stronger than the differences that sometimes that drive us apart.
Yes.
Now, what are the challenges did you face in order for you to get this started? And one of the questions that I ask you, and I would like to get an answer, do you collaborate with the American film festivals and the people over here? For example, the one that happens in Utah. I cannot remember the name of the festivals.
Yeah, the Sundance.
The Sundance,
Yes,
yeah.
correct,
How
yeah.
can I remember? How can I forget Robert Redford?
Robert Redford, very famous. The Sundance is a very elite film festival.
It sure is.
Yeah. So no, we have not reached that stage yet to collaborate. So some of the things we are looking at this year is also looking at a non-profit route to form a committee, and gradually we want this to be a standalone entity on its own and continue on.
And so it will be self-sustainable.
Self-sustainable, because in the beginning and even today we put a lot of our own money. Sponsorship is always a challenge. We have improved every year. Every year.
Do you go out to the corporation to get the?
Yeah, people like you, people like corporations. For example, this year we were lucky. Maryland Film Office helped us.
Okay.
Strathmore helped us.
That's a good one.
Because and then people like you and several other like Infinite Computer Solutions, and several members in our community. We in airlines. First year it was Qatar. Last year it was Etihad Airlines, and now this year it was Air India and Emirates. So we
They are
try to go to
looking
it's
for
a mix of corporations,
Sure.
personal help, friends like who are CPAs, lawyers, doctors, who have interest in art. They also help us. So we try to improve on that every year. To get big corporations involved, you have to start the sponsorship, in fact, drive a year in advance because they formulate their budget.
What about going to the Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola?
We did.
JP Morgan or Lockheed Martin,
we
they
did.
are trying to do business within India.
Yeah, last year we went to Pepsi. They came to help us, but they were giving free products rather than money.
Well, or
but
maybe
then
that's the first step.
But then the facility where we were hosting had a Coca-Cola contract, so
Okay.
they said we won't take Pepsi.
Okay. So well, you're going to find some kind of conflict here.
Yeah. So this is always a challenge to raise money.
I agree with you that there is a challenge. So the people that comes from Mumbai, you said you're working on collaborating with the American partners also.
yeah.
The people last year, I think this year, as a matter of fact, the one that comes to my mind is Mr. Jha, who is a well-known, well-regarded, Prakash Jha, who's a well-known, well-regarded
Director.
person
Yes.
and director there.
Yes.
Do you try to get the big name to come over here, and you started the conversation now?
Yes, in fact, we are already in wanting to meet with Prakash Jha. In fact, I was going to meet him in my last India visit, and he was going to introduce me to some more people, film festival. But I had to cancel the trip because of something else came up. But I will go around in spring. We are trying to see if we can this year bring Nasruddin Shah. He's one of the
he's
best
good.
actors, yeah.
His brother is the vice chancellor of Aligarh University, and who's a personal friend of mine.
Oh, then maybe you could help us.
I could ask him.
It will be an honor if he comes because he's one of the best actors
He is.
in India, and a very well respected.
What about all the cons?
Well, they are all mostly on the commercial movies.
Oh, they're not-
this whole
they're
film
not in the film
festival,
festival. Okay, you're
in the
right.
Independent films,
Yeah.
art films, parallel films. They are into more commercial films. Although I don't mind Amir Khan coming because he is such a good person. If you've seen his shows like Satyamev Jayate or even his movies, they always have a social message, and he's a very good spokesperson also. So I would love to have him.
He will energize the audience over here.
Yes. The first one question everyone asks me every year is who's coming. Now
Well, obviously
the sad part is that the films are the most powerful, good stories which people should come for. But they always want, of course, to come and meet.
They want a big name.
Celebrity, big names. Yeah.
So what's your plan for 2015? So do you categorize the people, like I know there were a lot of, the Bhajpai was there also, if I remember this year.
Manoj
and
Bajpayee.
one woman was from India, not India, from Pakistan, I couldn't
Yes.
remember, and she was the one who was also given the award and so on and so forth.
Iram,
Thank you.
Parveen Bilal,
Thank you for giving opportunity to my wife Debbie,
Yes.
who appreciated that very much. That was her first experience. So tell me a little bit about what sort of a categories of the people that you reach out and ask them to come and attend these things.
Well, we look at the film itself first. The story, all the aspects. We have a jury which previews the films before,
Okay.
and then and we look at the comments, and they look at all the things like direction, acting, script, all of it. And if it has a good message, if it's a good movie, well done. Even if it's a first-time director, we give them an opportunity.
You give them opportunity.
Yeah, like Iram that was her first film. Although she has graduated from LA Film School and she still teaches some film classes. But the film had a very good social message. In a place like Pakistan, all the incidences which are happening.
It's a very, very unfortunate what's going on.
She was telling me while she was making the film, she used to get threats on the set. And they used to literally run, take the whole threat away. Yes,
Unbelievable.
yeah. So, and still make the movie and produce it, release it, lots of guts. And we need people like us want to give them more help and expose their films.
So are you reaching out not only from people from India and Pakistan you mentioned,
correct.
what about the South Asia, means Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh.
We
and-
do. In fact, one of the things I do every year is go and meet in every embassy every year. I went to Sri Lankan embassy and tell them, okay, film festival is coming. Let me know of any good films you know of, would like to screen. I will even like to partner with your embassy.
Wow.
So all our neighboring countries, South Asian, I do that. I reach out to them, and then it depends. Like for first year, like I said, we had film from Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, India, of course, and Afghanistan. We showed a movie.
You're
from Afghanistan,
absolutely
yeah.
right.
We saw this year.
Have
we
you
had
do
a
you
film
have
from
you talked to
Afghanistan.
the ambassador, Pak?
No, not yet.
Afghanistan.
But I will love you. If
Yeah,
you
I
have
can introduce
contacts,
to you.
yeah,
I
that
can
would be
introduce to
nice.
you, Ambassador Hakimi.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and they're very, very interested. Obviously, they all watch Bollywood movies.
Yes.
So
yes.
they would be interested. So do you pay for their airfare, for their accommodations?
We have to pay for everything. Luckily, one or two might ask even for a fee, but we have to pay their airfare. Some even ask for first class or business class because, of course, of their status, or because they are very busy. I think they're traveling all the time, so they need some rest. And we pay for the hotel, food, everything, all of that.
Do you, in order for you to broadcast your message, you also go to the Afghanistan channels, the TV station. Afghanistan has a TV, and also they have a publication. Do you talk to them and engage them?
Yes. Last year, in fact, our film festival, since we were showing a Nepali movie, was in the Nepal TV.
Okay.
Then Pakistan, in fact, even in the what do you call this radio program, which not BBC, but the other one.
Sure.
The one from America, which is broadcasted. So the TV, Pakistan television people came. They interviewed, in fact, even on the red carpet, all the 2 movies which we were screening.
That's a wonderful thing to do.
Yeah.
So, if you have to give a audience about the DC's South Film Festivals, have them participate, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that, come with families. Please support all these new up and coming new directors, filmmakers who bring to you very good cinema. I mean, they need your help. They need a chance to succeed in this venture, and this is a good opportunity to come and see some good independent films from whole of South Asia, and also people to meet your own community members and also talk about the art of filmmaking. And get together and talk about other things.
Sure.
Film, theater, music.
Well, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for what you do in terms of the art, because
Thanks.
I am a fan of art, and I love art, and it's important for all of us in this community.
Thank you very much, Frank, and we need your help.
Sure, you're most welcome. This is Frank Islam wishing you a great week. Thank you for watching.